This is Lenny Farlee, Purdue University Extension Forester. Now let's ID that tree. In this edition of ID That Tree, we're going to introduce you to a non-native but widely planted conifer, and that is Norway spruce. Norway spruce, as the name implies, originated from Europe, but has probably been planted here in Indiana and across the Midwest for over 150 years. Norway spruce, as you can see, gets to be a very large tree. It's the tree of the Black Forest in Europe, and can live to be fairly old age as well, and actually does reasonably well for a spruce here in Indiana. So Norway spruce, as is the case with all the spruces, has single needles that are rounded to angular, fairly stiff and stout, although not painful to push against in terms of being pointed. The needles actually sit on top of a little spur on the twigs, and so on the dead twigs you can see that little spur left behind by the needles. Firs have a little round pad, and so their stems left behind after the needles have fallen are smooth, as opposed to being rough for the spruces. The needles are approximately an inch long or a little shorter, and if broken have a very aromatic, pitchy odor to them. The bark on Norway spruce, medium brown, starts to become flaky, particularly with age. And the cones on Norway spruce are quite long, very attractive. When the cones dry, they tend to open their scales some, like the one on the left, but if they're fairly moist, the scales stay pretty tightly affixed, like the one on the right. So Norway spruce, a non-native but widely planted conifer here in Indiana. Single needles attached to the twig, angular needles, somewhat stout, cones that hang down, and fairly long, sometimes 6 inches or more.